welcome to the CNBC TV18 special. Today we're in conversation with the Minister of Industries, Finance and IT of West Bengal, Dr. Amit Mitra. Thank you so much for speaking to CNBC TV18.
Thank you.
Let me start by, touching upon the Bengal Global Summit. This is, I think, probably the TMC's government's first visible attempt to really change the investment climate and the industrial landscape in West Bengal. So what do you propose to do? What kind of incentives would you be offering to corporates, both global and domestic, to seek investment into the state? And also, what would you be doing to revive the entrepreneurial spirit of West Bengal, which is clearly the need of the hour?
I think what is important for me to share with you is 5 new policies have been announced and in operation today by this government. Number 1 is the new industrial policy, which contains the most competitive incentive policy. You compare it with other states, you'll see we are ahead by a little bit. I personally was involved in that, I can tell you that. 2 is the MSME policy, which is the job-intensive sector. Small and medium enterprises is what brings jobs in terms of per unit of capital invested. New policy MSME. Textiles. West Bengal is a very solid state in textiles. New textile policy. New IT policy. Information technology policy. So you are seeing policies which are new. All driven by incentives which make sense. And therefore, and competes, in my view, humble view, better than those of other states.
I want to take up some of the issues that you have been quoted upon as well.
Yes.
One of the key aspects that you have been talking about recently is GST.
Yes.
Now, you have taken objection to the constitutional amendment bill of GST in its current form because you believe that it infringes upon the state's authority to tax certain products according to their own rates. Now, what I understand is that you want to keep petrol, petroleum products and tobacco out of the ambit of the GST because these are significant revenue streams for West Bengal. But my question to you, Dr. Mitra, is that if it is left to the discretion of every state to decide which products are kept within the GST net and which are left out, then how will GST help in maintaining governance?
The question is, if you introduce a GST which lowers the aggregate revenue of a state, not West Bengal I'm talking about, all states, then that GST in a federalist government of India will not function. There was a consensus among the finance ministers of India in the Empowered Committee that these things we would like done in supporting the GST. One of which is compensation to the states of any loss of revenue to be put into the constitution. And I'll tell you why we are talking about the constitution. The central government said central sales tax, which was 4%, reduce it down to 2% and we will compensate you because we are moving towards the GST. Everybody agreed.
All right.
What happened year before last? A single letter from the finance secretary, henceforth you shall not be compensated. You know how much West Bengal has lost? 4,500 crores. How much have all the states have lost? Probably in the range of 74,000 crores or 78,000 crores. We don't have a good estimate of that. In that range. Now, that was not in the Constitution amendment. It was just a word of mouth and it let the states down.
So are you trying to say, sir, that if these products are still brought into the ambit of the GST, if there is a unified GST for all products, and if the center is willing to compensate the states, you would be willing to go ahead with that?
You see, the whole issue boils down to revenue. Now, today, there was a consensus on the petroleum. There was a consensus first on liquor, by the way. And that seems to have been kept out, I don't know, because the fine print will tell. There was a consensus on petroleum. Why? Assam, half of its revenue comes from hydrocarbon petroleum. So if that you subsume into GST, they will have a problem.
Absolutely.
Same way in the case of liquor, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu have a problem because they have very large excise revenues. West Bengal has a specific problem which you didn't mention, which is entry tax.
Entry tax. I'm aware of that.
You're aware of that. Now, as far as entry tax is concerned, do you know if entry tax is subsumed, Maharashtra, where we are sitting today, will lose 8,500 crores.
So what is your proposal? What is your proposal?
The proposal is that A, Your proposal, our proposal, which is a collective consensus of all finance ministers, not mine. Because all these problems are of different states.
Absolutely.
Our proposal is, first you include 100% compensation in the constitution for a long period of time so that nobody is uncomfortable. Now, initial proposal thrown at us was, okay, first year 100%, second year 75%, third year 50%, fourth year 0. Now, let the central government find a revenue neutral rate. We are ready to talk day after day in the empowered committee of finance ministers, where most people are in favor. By the way, a year ago, it was the BJP states which were opposing GST. Madhya Pradesh officially said, we don't believe in the principle of GST. Gujarat had many objections to GST. There were some Congress states opposing GST. Today, we arrived at a consensus that for stage 1 of GST, you do this, this, this. Then the confidence building measure happens. Today we have no confidence because of the CST example. Tamil Nadu today, the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu went to Delhi 2 days ago and said, no, we don't accept this GST amendment. Where is the consensus? It looked as though West Bengal alone is standing out. We are not. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister said the revenue neutral rate has to be first settled in the empowered committee.
But it seems like the empowered committee is not on the same page.
Empowered committee met 29 states with a chairman from Kashmir. And we all agreed on a model of GST vis-a-vis the amendment to the GST Act.
All right.
Now, after our meeting, 2 states were only there physically. Had some discussion. Now it is clear that other states, it's not acceptable. It's not West Bengal. The Tamil Nadu Chief Minister is saying not acceptable. Karnataka is saying not acceptable. Gujarat is saying please put 1% extra GST tax because we are producer state, others are receiver states. This can only be sorted out through the empowered committee where we are now committed, and West Bengal is a leader in committing to GST.
So is this to say that the empowered group of ministers are now on the same page as far as the new GST model?
What I am saying is that empowered committee gave a recommendation which we talked to the finance minister directly.
Okay.
After that process was over, there should have been an empowered committee to which any kind of discussion with any state or individual should have gone back to the empowered committee. And we would have debated it and come out with a solution. Never happened. My submission is the central government, and I'm not talking about any individual, central government must recall the empowered committee with a proposal that is acceptable to the central government, to the states of India.
Okay.
Please don't forget, this is a federal polity. And the current government talks of cooperative federalism. What happened to cooperative federalism? When we met, we gave a proposal, and then we were told that 3 states meet. Very good. 3 states meet. That's how negotiations happen in the world. After they meet, when they give a proposal, that proposal comes back to the original empowered committee.
Do you see that happening now?
I cannot comment on that because this is a decision of the central government, but I'm just laying out the process for you. When Tamil Nadu Chief Minister, Karnataka Chief Minister, one Chief Minister or Finance Minister after another, 3 days ago, told the Finance Minister of India that, look, we are not in favor of this. What does that mean to you?
Now, Dr. Mitra, moving away from GST, the other key aspect that you've been talking about is the land acquisition bill. Now, we've seen that you've objected to certain amendments to the bill as well. Where are your objections stemming from, and what do you propose to do? Because land continues to be a big hurdle in West Bengal. Land issues are very difficult, and in democracies, you need consensus over them. If you say in your law that you can take away land from the peasant without telling them, whatever may be your reason, you will have a massive democratic problem in hand. So it has to be done on a democratic consensus basis. You can't dictate from the center that we can take away land for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reasons. You'll never be able to function. Look at Odisha. What has happened to POSCO? You have to arrive at a consensus.
This is a democracy.
But
And
if you aren't able to reach a consensus, then why does the state government not draft a stricter version of the land acquisition bill that is applicable to West Bengal?
You see, the reason why we have already, by the way, you hit the nail on the head. We have in fact passed in the legislature a new Land Act. But what happened is, in the meantime, the previous central government passed a Land Act, but they never put the rules. So they never implemented the rules. Now the new government has come. It is looking at this. But let me tell you very frankly, you're talking not about economics. You're talking about political economy. And you have to understand, I'm sure the mature CEOs understand, that this has to be a process of working together. If you do not allow the peasants around your factory to feel comfortable, it won't happen.